when children are involved with robotics, it fosters a number of things. Now, we know, without saying anything, that it's fostering an understanding and an authentic connection with the math and science. But it's also making sure that our students are developing their creativity. They have to be creative. They have to problem solve. And I like, Danny, when you made a comment about, that students will come up with a problem and they're trying to solve it. It might not be successful, but the learning around that triggered a point about not only do we have problem solvers, but they also end up being risk takers. And when we have children able to feel comfortable to take that risk when they're problem solving, they might not be successful, but the learning that comes from that is so powerful.
Well, certainly there's lots of great opportunities. This is a rather exciting time in technology, as many new innovations are coming to the market that are really helping us transform teaching and learning through the use of technologies. And so really we'll see lots of changes that will really benefit our students and our teachers in our system.
Well, you just have to look around and look at the level of engagement. There's no better way to get kids excited about learning. They don't even realize they're learning important math concepts, they're learning formulas, they're learning problem solve, and best of all, they're learning how to network and communicate with others who are like-minded, so it's great.
I hope that it gets infused into the curriculum and that more teachers will try to run this program in their classroom to some degree, so that they can have that early exposure and more kids can get involved.
Programming competition is a really great experience for anybody at any age, whether you're in middle school or high school. All of the software and building is very user-friendly. I believe that anybody can do it and just pick it up.
The key thing to the robotics program is how the kids learn to work together. They learn the importance of the team, of listening to each other and working with each other and sharing each other's ideas.
Every table that we encountered, it was always the teamwork. It was, my idea may not be the one that works, but nobody's down on me for the idea. It's how do we get this to work?
Became even more closer friends as we began more programming, more building. I think it was a great experience which helped us all.
I'm grade 11. I actually recommend this program to anyone. It's really fun. You learn a lot of different new things. I started learning about it last year, actually.
Really, this is something Nova Scotia should be jumping on board with. Absolutely, it's a field where you can move into really easily. It's startup opportunities for kids and teenagers at an early age. There's lots of different programming courses as well as technology seminars that they can go to learn about it, and then being able to sort of branch this out and help Nova Scotia grow in that field. It would be wonderful to see. Really would be.
I think there's many reasons why to participate. I mean, if you think about the science part of it, the programming that they're doing with the NXT, it's just fantastic because it's a drag and drop program, so you can get early learners on, and as they advance, there's actually opportunities for them to learn advanced programming. So I think to have kids involved with the technology and not be afraid of it is fantastic. But I would say that's just one part of it. It's the camaraderie, it's the teamwork, learning to work with each other, learning whose strengths, because there's this kind of competition has allowed them to, if one might be better at programming than building, or might be better at doing the research, so they learn from each other's strengths. So I think it's fantastic all around as an educational opportunity. Yeah.
I've been in robotics before, and I thought, why not? I was in pre-cal, and Mr. McMahon told us about it, and I thought, it's a good idea because I've always thought about going in sciences, but it's good to broaden your ideas.
I joined robotics because I'm just a student that's taking advanced math, and I'm looking toward a career in technology, one of my favorite things to do, and I thought robotics would be a good start.
Great way to learn about robots, programming, and working in a team. And the project, it's really fun to learn about a topic that you haven't explored yet. You learn a lot of new things, and you have fun doing it.
I think it's to see the kids having fun, manipulating Lego, working on programming, and just they're learning by having fun, and I think that's really exciting.
What we need to do is introduce it to them that it's not difficult, that it's not something that they should be afraid of, that it's something that they should embrace?
I think probably the best way to get more students involved is to actually make it part of a program, whether it be tech ed or somewhere in there where the kids, it's like in phys ed. I was not just a tech ed teacher, I was a phys ed teacher. A lot of kids never knew they liked basketball until they played it. So it's the same with this. If it was part of a program and the kids were introduced to it, they'd find that it's very easy.
I think you have to get it in and get them introduced to it and get them comfortable from 5. I think, I've had robots in with grade primary students and they're so engaged and they can start figuring it out from a really early age. Don't wait till middle school.
The type of skills that the students are learning through the First LEGO League are a pretty good example of the kinds of skills we're going to need in the future. I want to talk about a couple in specific. The Ship Start Here program. On the surface you'd think it's just building ships, and when it was first announced everybody thought about welding and metal fabrication and all of those types of skills, but in reality if you think about a ship, it's nothing more than a floating computer. And all of the skills that our students and our youth are learning today are going to be used over the next 30 years.
In this particular case, there's a couple things involving balls. We have to pick them up and move them to different locations, but they don't know exactly the field layout in every competition. So that way they have to develop software and robotic hardware parts that have to deal with a multitude of different scenarios.
It's not just a technology thing, it's having fun, but it's also doing the projects and working in the community. Because even as I'm an engineer myself, and part of your job is of course dealing with technology, but to make technology worth anything, you have to deal with people, and it needs to benefit the community that we're in.
The sky's the limit, really. Like my son, he wants to go to MIT and he's got his heart set on it and he's 12, and I think what I wanted to be at 12, I had no idea, and so he's already set the bar really high for himself. And it's because of a program like, First LEGO League that he's done that. So we're really excited and we hope he'll go to MIT.
That working with technology will help me in, I'm going to become a teacher, so there's a lot of technology even in the classrooms.
I'm hoping to actually go into some technical design, mostly programming, computer software, and heck, if I can, I'll build a robot, maybe solve some problems, medical fields, maybe build a car even.
This would be great in a computer science course in high school. Not too many high schools offer these courses, but I think that the fact that there's a lot of problem solving this and teamwork would really help a lot of students who are more used to this is a certain method of how to do something and do it on your own, which that's not how everything works in real life. And so it's a great experience to be able to work with your peers.
You have to look at curriculum outcomes, obviously, when you're looking at school systems, but it is something you can integrate into the school system because there's language arts components in terms of having to do a project write-up. I mean, all of those aspects and the research basis into the science behind it. So many different areas you can touch on with this program and bringing into the school systems, and obviously the math and engineering and hands-on. You're not able to do a lot of hands-on with kids in the classroom, and if you can tie in many different subjects at the same time with one activity, that's really a wonderful thing for the kids at an early age. Yeah.
Well, I think we got along as a team pretty darn well. I mean, we're agreeable people, we can agree with each other, and generally there was no difficulty in the team aspect of it. But difficulties of just working as a team, everybody has different ideas, and no one really wants to overshadow everyone else. So finding a nice little balance between everyone's good ideas is an interesting thing to try to do, but I think we did that okay.
Everybody has their differences, but we have to learn to, just calm down, talk to each other about it and try and fix it without anybody storming off and getting mad.
I think one of the biggest things that we found when we were working on this is we got a lot better at team building. At the start, we didn't really know quite how to work as a group, whereas as we worked through it, it was at first no one was really working together, and then we realized we have to work together, and it made us put aside a lot of our differences, and I think that's a really important skill for later on in life because there's always going to be opportunities where you need to work with a group, and I think that's really important.
We had challenges, of course, with the robot and programming and stuff, but together as a team, we kind of were able to say, let's try this, and well, this doesn't work, so now let's try somebody else's idea.
Definitely. I think, like, as you know, with the success we've had this year, we're kind of looking to open it up to the wider school-based population. Next year, maybe, you know, getting more of the junior students involved as well, and seeing where it goes from there. But I definitely think that the three of us had a really good time with this, and I think, you know, we've been driving the robot around the school, and a lot of people are kind of like, hey, what's going on with that? So I think we're starting to get a little bit of buzz around it, so we'll see if it can grow next year as well.